afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For this video, we're on our way to Hinton, Alberta, and then to Edson, Alberta, and then possibly Fort St. John's, New Brunswick. Not New Brunswick, no. BC. Fort St. John's, BC. Right now, we're heading into Clearwater. I think we're about in Clearwater. And, yeah, the roads are a little dicey around here. We've had to turn off cruise control because the road's too nice. Now we're hitting water again. It's warmed back up, but for whatever reason where the winds are, I had to turn off. Ooh, that's not a good sign. There's that RV again. They still haven't recovered it from our last job when we went to Saskatchewan, so still there. Rough week for that guy. But yeah, we're on our way to Hinton. We're gonna go pick up a truck that has a blow-in tranny, and yes, it's a Dodge. Yes, I know the jokes. Yeah, then we're picking up some axles. So far, that is the plan. We have $3,100 in our pocket for that job. So far, hopefully we get another $5,000 or $4,000, and I think it's $4,000. So we'll have $7,100 for this trailer load, with a total distance of about, I would say, 1,100, so 2,000, 2,200, maybe 2,300 kilometers. It's not bad. That's about $250 or like $3 or $3.25 or something like that a kilometer, or $3.50 a kilometer, give or take. Somewhere, I think it's like $3.50 or $3.50 something a kilometer, which is nice. For you Americans, that would be, what's the conversion for this? 1,100 miles, or 2,000 or 1,200 miles. For in American currency, take away 0.31. We're looking at like maybe $5,500 American for 1,200 miles, so about $5 a mile or something like that. So it's a pretty sweet setup. It's all partials, really. The tractor's only 5,000 pounds. The 3,500 we're picking up, it's a second gen, so no safety stuff in it, so it doesn't weigh that much. It's like maybe 5,600 pounds of that. It's a short box, regular cab truck, at least, or extended cab. I can't remember exactly what it is. All I know is it takes up 18 feet. That's from bumper to bumper, so left me 22 feet of deck space. We grabbed some axles that are going to take up 2 feet. And because it's a small pallet, it's not a full pallet. It's just it's lengthwise it's 8 feet, but for the widthwise it's only 2 feet, and it's 6 axles, 6 10,000-pound axles or 7,000-pound axles, something like that, with drum brakes. All I know is it's 200 pounds per axle. It's 1,200 pounds total weight. So we have enough space on this trailer to put on another 12,000 pounds. And the tractor we need to pick up is 15 foot long, and it's 5'5" wide or 6 foot wide, and yeah, it's 5,000 pounds according to the owner. So we're gonna see if we can grab that load on the way. We'll know if we when we get to Edson tonight, because we can't get loaded until the morning for the axles, because the shop won't be open. The place that it's being bought won't be open until then. So we have to wait until 8 a.m. I think Alberta time, or 7 a.m. BC time, for us to be able to get loaded. Oh, thank you, Plow. I really appreciate that. And so yeah, that's what we're gonna do, and we're hammering down, and we're gonna get there safely. It is icy out. It is a little bit slick, and the highways are not improving apparently. I looked at the radar and talked to the guys on the radio, and the highways are not going to be improving whatsoever. So I'm gonna grab a coffee from Tim's here in Clearwater, grab a bite to eat. I hate that. You ever have tags on hoodies and stuff that like just tickle the back of your neck? I just hate it. But I'm gonna grab a coffee and some food, because we might be on the highway a while. Last time they weren't. It was like this. They shut down the highway for, I think it was 9 hours. So we're just gonna be prepared. We have food in the truck, we have extra clothing, we have everything we ever need. If we ever have a situation where we are stuck on the highway, we're perfectly safe. But in this case, in this situation, hello officer. in this situation, we are gonna grab ourselves something nice just for lunch, because we haven't had lunch yet today. We haven't even had breakfast yet. It's almost 1 o'clock and I haven't eaten yet today, except for a Starbucks coffee and a piece of banana bread. I don't know if you'd call that breakfast, lunch, or dinner, but I felt like I needed that this morning while the trailer was getting repaired. The trailer's repaired, so now we're heading out, and yeah, we're already in Clearwater. It doesn't take long. Like, when you're so used to driving 1,000+ kilometers a day, it doesn't take long to get used to it. For those Americans, that's 600 miles. So I usually drive more than that. In Alberta, I can drive almost 800 miles in a day legally. But in the BC mountains, especially in the winter, 600 is pushing it for 13 hours of drive time. Now, if you're in Canada, we have 13 hours of drive time. If you go above the provinces and you go into the territories, then you get 15 hours of drive time or something like that. I don't remember what it is. I don't go up there enough to worry about it. So. All right, let's squeeze our fat ass in here. It's deep snow in here right now. It's ice or sludge. Pick your poison. So we just gotta hang out. The problem with the 40-foot is you have to drive so much differently. You have to drive like a semi. And some people just don't get it, you know? Some people get it, some people just don't. Some people get the fact that you have to take turns really, really wide to get past curbs. Because the government here does not like if you hit a curb with your truck. Oh, she's fucking icy here. I've studded winter tires too, which is what makes things really interesting. A lot of guys come in here, like right now, I guarantee you would not be driving on this with standard tires, because I am on studdeds and I am sliding. Oh, here comes the plow. Please don't hit me. Oh my God. Dangerous. So dangerous. What are you doing, Toyota? Let's figure it out, bud. Go on. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do this. We're gonna piss some people off, but we're gonna not block the road. We're gonna park next to this van. We're 40 feet long, so we're gonna block a big section road, but we'll be quick. We'll see you guys when we get back out to Tim Hortons. You know, I'm on this road right now. It's rough as can be in Blue River. But you know it's deep snow. When the snow is taller than your truck. But, oh my God, I'm gonna get stuck here. It's like thick ass powder. Okay, there's a stop sign here, but I'm gonna be honest with you boys. Like, if I stop, I'm not gonna be able to get going again. Oh, we're already struggling. Keep it going. I don't want to stop. They didn't plow this, so it's like fucking. Oh, hello. Hello. get power down and I can't. So we're just gonna have to coast along here. Like, I coast barely any throttle. As soon as I apply anything, immediate it spins out. So she's slick, boys. She's a slicker today between Blue River and Clearwater. Is this guy really gonna do 40 the whole fucking way? Buddy, I'm not gonna be doing. Oh, drive it like I stole it. But yeah, figure I'd let you guys know what's going on. It was just funny now. Just had a collections agency call me. That was funny. I've never been in collections. I have perfect credit, so I kind of found it weird. And they're like, "TELUS put you in collections." I'm like, "TELUS?" Like, I've had TELUS for most of my life, except for like in high school I had Rogers. But I've had a TELUS phone line and internet and stuff pretty much my whole life. And I was like, why would they send me to collections? Because I've never owed them. I've never laid on a bill or anything like that. And she had me confirm my information, which you shouldn't do. But I was like, I know I don't have collections with TELUS. And after they did that, she's like, "Oh, this isn't you. They have the wrong number." I was like, yeah, I kind of figured that. Because they looked up my file and saw my actual file in TELUS and were like, "No, you don't owe us anything. You're fine." If anything, actually, I have a credit of like $9,000 something with TELUS because I had my cell phone, and I don't have a landline with TELUS right now. I have Starlink at home, so I don't have to deal with TELUS. But I had my cell phone and I paid it off, and they charged me for it because I bought it at the Apple Store, but they put it on a payment plan by accident or something like that. But I paid the Apple Store the $2,100 it was or something like that, and then I thought my phone bill was $301 a month because of the term for the payment for the cell phone. So the plan that I got and everything else like that, I thought I was paying $301 a month, including the phone financing. So out here in Canada, we have a cell phone bill, and you have a finance phone bill. So they just, most places just add them together and you get your Apple Care and all that stuff. But I was confused by that. So I ended up paying that for like a year. And then I realized, my accountant realized anyways, he said that, "Hey, you know you're paying for a phone that you've already paid off? The government wants to know why you're trying to claim it twice." And I was like, "What?" And yeah, we looked into it, investigated. Yeah, I paid cash $2,100 for the phone at Apple Store. And then like 2 months later, I received a bill for $301. So I was like, "Oh, whatever, I guess that's just what it is." And just paid it with auto pay. So time that all said and done, it was a balance of like, they owed me $9,000 something in credit. So they asked if I wanted to check. I said, "No, just leave it on the bill." So now my bill's like $75, $80 a month, and for unlimited everything, and I have 150 gigs of data with unlimited after, but it's limited speeds or whatever it is. But yeah, so I don't have a cell phone bill payment for like 7 years probably. I don't know. It just eats out of the credit, whatever it is. Automatically pulls from the credit. Same with the power bill and all that stuff. I have a credit every. I look how much I'm going to spend every quarter, and then I just put that amount of money into it every quarter, and then yeah, they just bill out that way. I don't know. I like having that there, so you have a slow month. If your cell phones and everything else like that is overpaid, and you have like credits of like thousands of dollars with companies, and if say you have a slow month or you can't pay your bill that month, you don't have to worry about it. You can absorb that month and not lose your shirt. A lot of people are very close to the ragged edge, I heard. Doing some research and reading books, that people, like 40% of people are like paycheck to paycheck. They can't afford a $400 emergency expense, and that makes me feel bad. But at the same time, I'm going to be brutally honest. Some people won't like it. I believe you put yourself in that position. I don't believe that society put you in that position. I believe you put yourself in that position. If you work a 9-to-5 job and you spend 90% of your expenses just trying to survive, well, then you're not in the right place to survive. It's like those guys in California go like, "I can't afford to buy a house. I can't afford to live here." That's why moving trucks exist. Let's look there. I was like, I tell people all the time, it's like, my buddy tells me his rent's like $3,000 a month in California. And I'm like, "Why don't you move?" "Well, I like where I'm at." "Well, then stop bitching about being broke." want to be where you're at, you either make the money and do it, or you stop your bitching and you move. Simple as that. That's what I did when I was younger. I moved to a place that I could afford, and I saved up my money and invested and did everything you're supposed to do, and now I can live in places that most people say is outrageous. I can afford to live in British Columbia now. Not when I was younger. When I was in my early teens, I tried to, and I had a basic job, and I could not afford rent, I could not afford food, and eventually one thing led to another, and I ended up going, moving back, and back to Edmonton, where rent was like $800 for a house. So unlike the $2,500 I was paying for a house in Vancouver. So, well, not Vancouver, it was like Langley area, or wherever it was. I can't remember where exactly it was nowadays. It's been so long. But yeah, so if you're watching this video, you're in that situation where you're living paycheck to paycheck, and you're like trying to find a different paying job, maybe it's best for you to move too, because you have to go where the market is. If you're getting in the hotshot down in the US, I'd highly recommend you go to Texas. That's probably the best place for hotshot. It's warm year round, except for the odd like cold snaps here and there, and it's a good central location to reach all across the United States. So Texas is the best place for hotshot, in my opinion. It's also the best for taxes and for like income, the fuel costs, things like that. It's just a better business area. It's the same thing with like, I don't run my business out of BC for that reason. It's not business friendly. BC is not prepared to have businesses in them. There's people that are in them, but we use a lot of tax write-offs. We do a lot of things to take our advantage to. But to start out, with the cost of getting everything started in this industry, it's better off starting in Saskatchewan or Alberta or Manitoba. Those are the three places that I would start. Alberta would be your number one location. Alberta is the Texas of Canada. Those guys, hotshot is huge there. If you want to do oil field pipeline, you can do your research, you can get some contracts and get into it fairly easily, okay? I personally would not run oil field and pipeline in your first year of hotshot. I'd probably get started with maybe cars, or getting some stuff off the load board, start building a reputation. So when someone asks, like, because some of these companies ask for a portfolio of like what you've done, do you have pictures of loads you've taken? They want to see a variety of loads to show that you have the experience of how to tie down, how to deal with loads, driving conditions, things like that. And you get paid a lot more too if you wait. Are you going to make $1 million in your first year? No, you'll probably make 100K. So just be smart about your financing. Like, start with the truck, power only. And during the summer, move RVs and fifth wheels, and then maybe eventually get a small trailer to start, like a single car hauler. It's what I did. I didn't jump straight into the dually and into the 40-foot hotshot when I started. I started with an F350, 76 F350 with a 390 in it, 4-speed, and I started with flatbed work. I bought that truck for $500, put about $1,000 into it, and drove it during the summer, two-wheel drive truck, doing pallet loads from the airport into the interior, and I could carry about 5,000 pounds worth of stuff on the box or on the flat deck. It was 12 feet, so you could carry a small car. I've carried a Jeep on it, but I have to show you the truck that started the company. And then I had some brake failure on that one. The diverter valve, just old school stuff, right? It's old school, it's gonna break all the time. But I went to apply my brakes, and I had rear brakes but no front brakes, which anyone who hauls weight, unless you have a lot of tongue weight, you have no stopping power then. The trailer brakes, I got stopped. It was fine. I got the job done, but it was one of those things where I just said, hey, it's time for a better truck, and I bought that white, or sooty as anyone knows it on here. I bought sooty in 2019 or 2020, and got sooty financed, and $875 a month for that. And then I drove that, and then I bought myself a low boy car hauler, custom built one. I was looking at spending about $7,500. Didn't find a trailer I liked, because I kind of knew after renting a couple of trailers, and that's something you need to know too. Rent a few trailers, get the work in before you actually go invest into a trailer. Now, a car hauler is not expensive, but I'm going to give you a few tips right now. Number one, get auto adjusting brakes, and get easy lube axles from Dexter, okay? Just don't waste your time. Don't waste any time on shittier axles, just get those. You'll never regret it because they are fucking reliable. I put 310,000 plus kilometers on that trailer, and I'm still on the original bearings, and the original brakes, and the original axles. Leaf springs, the front ones had to be replaced, but that was my own fault. I kind of overloaded the trailer. One day I had to move my skid steer down the road, and I was like, low boy can handle a 12,000 pound skid steer. Nope. It handled it, it did it, but it bent the two front springs pretty fucking good. But yeah, other than that, 14 ply tires is another thing. Don't waste your time with 8 ply, 10 ply, 6 ply. Nope, go straight to 14 ply. Pay the money. Don't even bother ordering a trailer without a 14 ply tire. If the company doesn't do it, walk to another dealership. There's a dime a dozen. If you want to order a trailer and you do live in the area, go see Don at Bowler Trailers and Sales in Kamloops. That's the guy I buy all my trailers through, and he is as legit as they come. He's a Albertan cowboy. He knows his shit. He doesn't mess around, and he doesn't screw around the prices. So that's the thing. I like him. He's honest and upfront about everything, and he'll tell you what to avoid and what to get, what you should maybe invest in, and maybe what you shouldn't waste money on. I bought both of my trailers through him, and I don't regret a single day of dealing with him. Do I have issues with the trailer sometimes? Yeah, but that's under warranty. And both the trailer manufacturers he deals with, they have been flawless. They are awesome to deal with. They accept warranty recalls, everything else like that. He deals with it, and you don't have to stress out about it. Like today with the trailer with the 40 foot, we had to get the lights done. There was a short to ground. It was 500 and something bucks, and I brought him the invoice because he's just down the road from the place that repaired it. He took the invoice, took a copy, sent it out to Rainbow, and I will have a response back probably tomorrow with a check in the mail. I've never had issues with warranty work with him, and he is as true as they come. Is straight shooter. I cannot highly recommend him more than anything. Other thing too, if you're gonna get yourself a car hauler, don't even waste your time with the 7K rated trailer. Go straight to 14, okay? Don't waste your time with 3,500 pound axles. They don't last. They're not meant to be hot shotted. They're not meant to be used for a lot of miles. Just go buy yourself a nice set of 14K trailer or 7K axles. If you can, talk to the manufacturer and see if they'll bump you up to an 8,000 pound axle. That's grease. 8 lug, 8,000 pound. And then rate the trailer or derate the trailer for 14. Then you'll never have problems because then the trailer is never working under its full capacity. And if you need to, you can squeak it there. You know, it's nice. And get the wide load low boys with big, thick fucking steel on the side like mine. If you don't know what my trailer looks like, I'm sure you can see in other videos. That low boy there is about as beefy as you're gonna get it. I had a drunk driver hit the side of the fucking trailer and it bounced off and the car was destroyed. The trailer had scratches. 3/16 steel is nothing to fuck with, man. But also, get yourself like a nice battery, a nice winch. You don't have to go buy a worn 12,000 pound winch and fancy wireless controls and all that. No. If you're just getting started, be realistic. Spend about $12,000 Canadian, or about under $10,000 US, on a trailer. Be nice about it. Simple as that. And you won't regret it. I'm going to make a video about this in the future if you guys subscribe and watch, about what to buy and what not to buy. What's a waste of money, what isn't a waste of money. But we'll go through it. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed so far. We're going to be driving through Hinton right now. We're coming up, we just went through Blue River. We're going to be cruising through here. Next is Valemont, well, Aurora, whatever it is, Avola, whatever. And then Valemont. Then we're going to get into Alberta. We're almost there. We're 3 hours away from pickup. Which on these roads we're doing about 90 right now. I have studded winter tires, so if you see as you see on the time lapse, I'm flying. Because my tires can handle these conditions. That's called having the right tires for the job. These are probably some of the best tires you can buy for the trucks or cars is Nokians. They invented the winter tire. At least I'm understanding they invented the winter tire. And they're studded winter, they're LP3s, I think it is, or it's like some weird name. Can never pronounce it to save my life. But we just call them Nokian LP3 over here in Canada, studded. And they are fantastic. I can rip through here at 100, but there's no point me barreling onto someone's ass and then trying to rush around them. And I just go with the flow of traffic. I keep my distance, so if I have to stop on a dime, like right now we're on pure ice, if I hit the brakes hard, I know I'm gonna stop. Maybe in like 200 feet, Oh, my trailer's stepping out. My trailer's like sideways going, yeah, because there's no winter tires on the trailer. They don't exist. But not on the 40 foot anyways. I did have a set of winters on my lowboy at one point, but they didn't last very long. Like you can tell, it's icy. But yeah, you'll stop in like 300 feet. So you gotta give yourself lots of room on pure ice. But studded wind tires help you stop. Wind tires on pure ice usually, no, not gonna cut it. Or your M&S or your Three Peaks Snowflake all-terrains are not gonna cut it on this stuff. I probably wouldn't drive on this. If I had my white truck with the, maybe with the KO2s I would, but I'd be driving in like the sandy dirt and stuff. Destroying the paint job of my truck. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the trip so far. We'll see you guys when we get to Hinton. The truck doesn't run, we found out. Transmission's blown. So, which means I hope the keys are somewhere. Or I have to break into it, which is not hard. We have all the tools to break into a truck. We have the slishy keys and all that stuff. For those guys who are into the hotshot world, then you're going to start moving junk cars, and you're going to start moving vehicles that are unattended or abandoned, things like that. Because you are going to pick up cars where someone sold it to someone else and sitting on the highway and it's locked up. Keys are in it. Yes, those slushy keys from Covert Instruments, man. You're going to unlock a lot of vehicles. I've done it before where I've gone to auctions and they can't find the keys. And the truck's locked. And they tell you they don't know where it is, and the staff give up after 15 minutes and you have to go and try to get into it. So you call a locksmith and that's $170, $190. Yeah, the customer's paying, but you can charge the customer for doing it. You don't have to be a legal locksmith to have the tools to do it. But if you're a repo guy or if you're a guy who hauls junk cars, no one's gonna give you shit for having them. It's just like knowing how to put a truck into neutral without requiring keys or anything like that. Like people are gonna look at it kind of funny, but then you tell me you move a lot of junk cars, you move a lot of repossessions and stuff like that. People don't even bat twice at that point. Don't follow that for legal advice, because I'm pretty sure you probably need a license to have the equipment. But like I said, most cops don't care. So I have them. So if the truck is locked up, we have the slishy key. I think it's called a leashy key for that generation of truck. So we can pick the lock and we can pick the ignition to get the steering wheel loose, and then we will get it loaded. We'll winch it on and get her on the truck and get her down the road. It's windy. I don't know if you can hear that. She is gusty today. Hey, I'll see you guys later. video for you guys right now. Me and my friend were just having a debate on the phone, and I was thinking about it, and it definitely is a great debate, and that is idling your truck at night. I idle my truck all night. When I'm out of the house, especially in winter, this truck does not turn off until I get back to the house. Or if I don't even turn off, put fuel in it, to be honest with you. So he was talking to me about it, and he says that he turns his truck off and uses a diesel heater. Oh, girl, calm down. And so I was like, see, I don't agree with the diesel heater thing. So I do understand why people have them. Wow, could we stop shaking like so bad? I understand the point of a diesel heater, okay, in your truck, in a 1-ton truck or in a big semi, okay? If you idle a semi all night, that's expensive. The truck, though, with the right tune, isn't. So his diesel heater burns 2 liters for an 8 hour, or was it a 0.25 liters per hour or something like that? And I burn 10 liters, or 8 liters, about a liter an hour is what I burn. And he said that he shuts down his truck at night and he uses diesel heater. And I told him, here's one thing that no one really thinks about, right? Take out the cost of fuel plus a decent diesel heater. Now, yes, you can get cheap ones on Amazon for a couple $100, but if you're gonna live with this thing beside you, you want something really robust, safe, and you want to spend probably about $500-600 on a diesel heater. So I told him, after the cost of diesel, the installation, the equipment to support it, you need a fire extinguisher, CO2 detection, which I have anyways, but all these things that you have to add to it and build around it, and the effort and time, do you really save money? Now, the only argument that he had against it was DPF, or if your truck had diesel exhaust fluid, if you have an emission system, it would hurt it. And I kind of disagree with that. I don't think it would, because the fact is that when the truck gets below a certain temperature, if it's tuned correctly, if you tuned your truck at all, it should automatically high idle back up to where it wants to be. My truck sits at 91 Celsius when driving down the road. Like right now, we're driving through a blizzard. I don't know if you can tell from outside. We're driving through a blizzard. The truck sits at 91 C. Okay, that's without the weather thing on top of it. It's minus 16 degrees. I'm probably, holy shit. Oh, look at this. That's a little concerning. I see the lights of the truck in front of me, but we had a section of snowstorm where I couldn't see dick. I see headlights coming at me, but that's it. I don't see anything else on the road right now. So this guy has his things going. You know, I'm gonna turn my 4 ways. That way people can see stuff blinking on my trailer. That was crazy. Crazy. But yeah, he was discussing with me about the DPF and all that stuff. Oh boy, this trucker has pulled over for the night. He said, screw this, I'm done. So yeah, so we had a good conversation about it, and I think in the end we definitely learned something. I don't think it'd be a problem, and I think with older trucks, yes, it would have been an issue idling your truck all night because the diesel doesn't burn. But if the truck's tuned correctly, and you should tune your truck, even with, there's lots of DPF compliant tunes out there. Tell the tuner what you're going to do at night. If he knows that the truck's never going to experience a non-lean point. So in other words, when you put the truck in park, let it lean out a little bit. Don't let it, burn extra fuel. Measure that fuel out. My tuner does that. So I use EasyLink for my truck here, and we determined of how much fuel we want to burn. So if I use AC during the night, it goes to 0.3 gallons a night, which you would have seen in a previous short, or 0.1 liters, or 0.1 gallon, or 1.2-ish gallons per hour. Okay, so that is what the truck burns. I have the same tune on this one. So at night, if I turn down, it goes to like 0.8 liters per hour or something like that I burn, which is next to nothing. And I wake up in the morning and there's no issues with the truck, okay? Now, some people would say that's a long-term issue, or you get diesel in your oil, it doesn't burn, diesel goes down your cylinder walls. Well, I have an oil sample that I did, because I run AMS oil in this truck. I have not run AMS oil in the white truck. I've run it in this truck since the day I bought it, because supposedly it's better. So I tested, and it is a better oil. So if you go for it, buy it. It's good. I did the oil service. I did 25,000 kilometers on that oil change. You're supposed to change it every like 12,000 kilometers according to Dodge, or 15,000, whatever it is. But AMSOIL guarantees 25,000 miles, which is almost 40-something thousand kilometers. And I was like, I don't know. I changed it to 24,000, and I was like, I didn't know, because my oil light came on. I was like, So I did an oil sample, sent it out to Black Labs, or what the fuck it's called. AMSOIL has a prepaid version of it you can send your stuff to. So I did that, and it came back that my oil still had like 60% life left in it, and it had less than 0.01% of diesel fuel in my oil after idling for almost, because I did 24,000 kilometers in the month of January, where it was minus 20, minus 25, minus 30, and the truck never turned off almost for 30 days straight. So it idled all night, and it was so cold I never turned my truck off when I got home, because when it gets down minus 30, you just don't turn diesels off. It's just as simple as that. I know some Americans are like, no, you just don't shut them off, okay, or else they might not turn on. And especially up here in Canada, you'll come up here during the winter, you'll see diesel trucks idling everywhere at minus 30 in all parking lots, everything. Trucks are built out here so you could remote start them. I know in some, like in California and stuff, remote starts turn off the vehicle after a certain while. Remote starts out here, most people have a program that when they turn on, they don't shut off until you hit the button again to turn off the remote start. And most people just leave their trucks idling all night. But after doing all that, I've learned that it literally was barely anything was in it. And you know what? They even said, because I put in the notes that I did an engine flush using diesel before that oil service. And that probably, and it will probably, more than likely, in the notes, it said more than likely it was residual diesel from when I did the flushing using the diesel. So there was no diesel leak during that time. And I idled for almost 100 plus hours, probably more than that. 8 hours a night, 10 hours a night, give or take. For the reset, 30 days, 300, maybe 250 to 300 hours of idling. Okay, in 1 month. And there was nothing in there. Same with soot. My tune is so clean. I don't have the roll coal tune, okay? I have my truck tuned, and it's adaptive and everything else like that. It's really expensive to do, but my God, is it worth doing. Yeah, you can go buy an $800 bully dog, throw it in there like my white truck, and call it a day, roll coal, have fun, plus power. But I want something reliable, clean, and efficient. I don't want soot coming out of my back exhaust constantly. I don't want to roll coal everywhere. I just want to make the truck reliable, but as fuel efficient as possible, and as environmentally friendly as possible. I know some people are going to say delete the DPF, it's not environmentally friendly. I'm going to tell you right now, when you have a DPF installed, you burn 2 times the fuel, and you generate the ash, which supposedly is environmentally friendly, and use the diesel exhaust fluid. So if I don't use diesel exhaust fluid, and I burn half the fuel to do the same job, the NOx are the same. Like either way, when you regen, by the way, you're putting out those chemicals anyways. It's just the filter catches it and then burns it off. The odor from that is not just ash and air, okay? It's fucking, there's chemical process that happens there that will shoot out. It's the same thing, okay? Doesn't make sense why people argue about this whole emission shit. Realistically, the guys that roll coal are assholes. Let's be honest, they are. But it was a great debate that we had about it. And I think that I will continue idling my truck. Since my truck is deleted, and I'm legally allowed to have it, so EPA kick rocks. It's legal in my province. Or I guess EPA doesn't have any authority on me here, so EPA doesn't exist in Canada. We have the environmental agency, but they know, like, they don't fuck with Alberta. They just know not to fuck with Alberta. So my truck's legally allowed to be deleted. So when I buy a truck, it's delete immediately. I don't even hesitate. It doesn't void the warranty. I know a lot of people say it does. It doesn't. Because here's how warranty works, at least in my country. I don't know about the US, but in my country, the dealership or the manufacturer has to prove in court that deleting a truck would damage it. And certain things would cause issues. Now, if you tune the truck, put more power down, yes, that will absolutely void your warranty. However, if you delete your truck and the tune is a no power tune, now the dealership and the manufacturer has to prove that it could have caused damage. And every judge that's ever had the court case in front of us says that deleting a truck does not cause damage, and if anything is a benefit to the truck to have less warranty claims in the future because there's no emissions. Most warranty claims on a truck like this are emissions related. I think if you ask anyone in the comments section below, most recalls and most repairs and most everything is mostly fucking emissions related. So it's just how it is. Yeah, I figured, what do you guys think about this? Idling your truck all night. If it's deleted and if it's properly tuned, is it a problem? Because the soot's not a problem, the diesel oil's not a problem, or the diesel fluid. It's not getting into the engine. My truck's tuned properly, so it's burning it. And it high idles automatically. As soon as it gets to 85C, it high idles up to 91C and then stops high idling. What do you guys think? What do you reckon? Comment down below. I figured it'd be an interesting talk bit. See you guys later. We're almost in Hinton, so let's get icy.